Welcome back, food lovers. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most luxurious and mysterious dishes in North America, Oysters Rockefeller. You may have heard of this decadent dish, but do you know its secret history, the hidden facts behind its ingredients, and why it was named after the richest man in America? Stick around because we're about to shut open the untold story of Oysters Rockefeller. Our journey begins in 1899 at the legendary Antoine's restaurant in New Orleans, Louisiana. This dish was created by Chef Jules Alciatore, the son of Antoine's founder. But did you know that Oysters Rockefeller was actually a replacement dish? Originally, it was meant to use snails, but due to a shortage, the chef decided to use locally available oysters instead. Talk about a lucky substitution. Now, you might be wondering, why the name, Rockefeller? Well, it was named after the wealthiest man in America at the time, John D. Rockefeller. But here's the kicker. The name wasn't just about luxury, it was because the sauce was described as so rich that it deserved to be named after the richest man alive. A bold statement for a bold dish. Here's a juicy fact. Antoine's original Oysters Rockefeller recipe has never been revealed. To this day, it remains one of the greatest culinary mysteries. Many chefs have tried to recreate it, but Antoine's keeps the real recipe locked away. Some say it contains parsley, butter, and breadcrumbs. Others swear there's a hint of absinthe or even spinach, but we may never know the true secret. Speaking of secret ingredients, did you know that Oysters Rockefeller might have had a hidden connection to Prohibition? Some believe the original recipe included absinthe, a powerful and controversial spirit that was later banned. When absinthe was outlawed in the US in 1912, some chefs may have substituted it with pastis or pernod. But that's just a theory. Could Oysters Rockefeller have had a boozy past? We may never know. Oysters aren't just a luxury dish, they're a superfood. Packed with zinc, iron, and omega-3 fatty acids, they're great for your immune system and even rumored to be an aphrodisiac. But here's a fun fact. In the 19th century, oysters were actually food for the working class. They were abundant and cheap, but thanks to dishes like Oysters Rockefeller, they transformed into a high-class delicacy. Today, Oysters Rockefeller has evolved with some wild variations. Some chefs add bacon, cheese, or even caviar. And did you know that in some places, you'll find grilled Oysters Rockefeller instead of baked? That smoky twist adds an entirely new depth of flavor. The original recipe for Oysters Rockefeller wasn't just kept secret, it was also never written down. Chef Jules Alciatore memorized it and passed it down only verbally to a select few at Antoine's restaurant. That means the true original could be lost forever if the tradition isn't maintained. Many modern recipes for Oysters Rockefeller include spinach, but Antoine's restaurant insists they never used spinach in the original dish. The green color of the sauce likely came from a mix of herbs, including parsley and possibly watercress. The spinach addition was a later adaptation by chefs trying to recreate the flavor. If you order Oysters Rockefeller outside of New Orleans, you might get a version topped with cheese, but the original never contained cheese. Traditionalists argue that the richness of the buttery sauce was meant to stand alone, without the added creaminess of cheese. Originally, the dish was going to be named after its creator, Jules Alciatore. However, a customer at Antoine's commented that the sauce was so rich that it should be named after John D. Rockefeller instead. That offhand remark changed culinary history. In the 19th century, oysters were cheap and eaten by everyone, from dock workers to high society. But Oysters Rockefeller was one of the first dishes to transform oysters into a gourmet delicacy, paving the way for seafood to become a high-end cuisine. Though it's a New Orleans original, some food historians believe Oysters Rockefeller was influenced by classic French escargot, snails in garlic butter. Since escargot was expensive and hard to source, oysters were used instead, giving birth to a uniquely American dish with French roots. During World War II, oyster populations in the Gulf of Mexico declined drastically due to overharvesting and pollution. Antoine's had to limit servings of Oysters Rockefeller, and many feared the dish would disappear entirely. Fortunately, oyster farming and sustainability efforts revived the industry, keeping the dish alive. Many modern versions of Oysters Rockefeller use breadcrumbs for a crispy topping, but Antoine's claims the original never had breadcrumbs. Instead, the texture came from a mix of herbs and butter, baked to form a crust on top. The breadcrumb addition was likely made by other chefs trying to mimic the look and texture. And there you have it, the fascinating history, secrets, and myths surrounding Oysters Rockefeller. Who knew this classic North American dish had such a rich and mysterious past? If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing food stories. Until next time, keep exploring, keep cooking, and keep savoring the flavors of history.